I was a little stumped when my friend Michael Averill posted the What is Love prompt, which was going to be for the first live story slam of the Story Republic, which I joined a few years ago. I'm not really a live storytelling kind of person. I'm a writer by trade, so this was going to be new for me, and I really wanted to do a good job. I was mulling about this and what I was gonna tell, and I was in the car with my mom, driving her and my dad to one of their doctor's appointments in the city. When we drive to these appointments, my mom and I are usually in the front seat chatting away, and my dad sits quietly in the back. My dad wasn't always this quiet, but slow onsetting dementia is unfortunately silencing his voice as well as his mind. Anyhow, I told my mom about this prompt and that I was struggling to come up with a story idea, and before I knew it, she leaned in and she started to talk. And I stayed very quiet and I listened. And she started to tell me about the early love story of her and my dad. That's 65 years ago. I let her talk, and I filed away everything she said to my memory because I knew I'd found the story I wanted to tell. I'd like to share a few words of that story with you now. It's called Love is Like Peanut Brittle. My mother tells me she knew after their first date she was going to marry my father. True, the cobalt blue of his shiny new 57 Chevy, which matched his eyes, may have been what first turned her head. But what she remembers more vividly was his kindness and charm. We fell into a relationship like we'd been friends our whole life, she recalls. I think I'm falling in love with you, he'd said early on. She didn't have to think about it. She already knew. When he knew for sure, he proposed with the only ring that would fit her tiny little finger. Well, he behaved with much bravado in those early days. On the morning of their wedding, he called her over and over just to check, asking, "You're going to show up, right?" She did show up. Always showed up, and is still showing up 65 years later. Thinking back on their long marriage, it strikes me that their love is like peanut brittle. Irresistible ambrosia, becoming a sticky mess that melts into lingering sweetness. Writing this story for me awakened the sweetness that can be found in even the most difficult stories when there is love, that the truth can free us when we choose to see it for what it is. You'll find the rest of this story and many others exploring the complicated, tender, true, sticky messes that love can be in the collection, What is Love? I hope you'll find your way into our stories. I think you'll be really happy you did.